Um, Charles, welcome back to the show.
Hey,
Would love for you to give a quick overview. Who are you? What are you building? And what did you ship last week?
yeah, thanks for having me back. I'm Charles. I'm a co-founder at Benevio Labs, and we are building consumer-focused DeFi apps. And what we shipped this week is actually it basically isolates what a core experience of the overall app that we're building. And although that overall app is targeted for mainstream consumers, crypto newbies, what we build right now is focused on crypto. People who are familiar with crypto have wallets because we want to really execute, get some feedback on kind of related to what Alex was just talking about, automated trading. And we're building something that kind of is the before step to what he was talking about. You're talking about access keys and auth, and you need to run that server locally to do that really cool demo that you showed. And we're building to allow agents to transact on your behalf. And what we shipped this week is a survey to help us get some opinions on, well, what do you expect, and how do you feel about granting different levels of permissions to an agent? And I'd love to show you a little bit more about that. Let me share my screen. And it's asking me to enable this.
I'm glad I'm not the only one that has issues with this live stream.
I might have
It's,
to switch tabs. Can you see my screen?
yeah, perfect. Awesome.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so if you go to benevio.dev/experiment, this is the link that I'd like you to share out. We've basically come up with a survey that pulls in pieces of this onboarding flow to get an idea of what preferences you have when setting up automated trading. So get started on that. And if you're using a browser like Brave, please disable ad blockers. And then it explains the scenario here. Let me share a different tab. This is fun. So basically, one of the core experiences of the app we're building is this agent. We wanted to have access to some of your portfolio to be able to monitor your portfolio such that you can create a goal and say, when my portfolio reaches a certain USD value, I want this agent to act on my behalf and to decide to swap some tokens to capture that gain in USD stablecoins, and I have that in my wallet. So it's this second step that we're really interested in. An agent trades automatically. It can pick the tokens and swap those tokens into USD. Are you comfortable with that? Would you prefer to have an agent only have access to a certain percentage of the tokens in your wallet? Would you prefer the agent ask you, hey, this is what I want to do, and then you have to approve that? So we have a lot of different questions in this survey. Cool, I can share this tab instead. And that's what this scenario is talking about here. When your portfolio grows, your agent acts. That's what we're describing here. And how much freedom do you want to give your agent? Do you prefer no autonomy and you want to require approval before any trade, and you want the agent to only trade once and not do anything after? Would you prefer some autonomy and you let the agent trade up to some percentage of your portfolio and then stop after reaching your goal? Or would you prefer full autonomy and you let the agent choose which tokens to swap, the quantities of each of those tokens to achieve your USD value in stable coins up to a certain percentage of all the tokens in your portfolio? Or maybe you prefer some combination of that. I want to approve before the agent does anything, but I'm going to customize this and let the agent trade up to a certain percentage. Or I want it to choose the tokens, but then just let me know what those are so I can approve that on my own. So that's this survey that we've created to help us understand what type of preferences you might have when setting this up. And this is going to go directly into the onboarding flow that we're building right now. But we want to check some assumptions right here. So that's why we have this survey at benevio.dev/experiment. So we can get some feedback and understand what you think about setting up an agent to do trades on your behalf to help you realize growth in your portfolio and realize some of that growth in USDC or USDT.
Ben, this is
That's
great.
what we shipped this week.
I will 100% be completing this survey right after this call. I encourage everyone else to do so as well. It also what you're building is super relevant to, I think, a lot of other things are being discussed on this call, which is really cool. It's kind of all coming together, and I think what you're doing is like sort of like the end user facing. So, a couple questions though. Uh, how do you plan to manage like on ramps? Like, do you plan to have an on ramp directly? Are you trying to do mobile app? Are you really trying to target like the mass everyday person, or are you really targeting like existing crypto traders?
Yeah, so that's a good question. So we have two audiences, and our end-to-end app that we're building that's longer term, that is targeting mainstream consumers, and we want to partner with an on-ramp provider like Coinbase or whichever one gives the best experience for our mobile-based application to allow people to transact fiat into crypto. And the different milestones that we're working towards over the next few months are targeting crypto natives to help us exercise different pieces of the core experience, so we can fine tune those and then build something that targets mainstream consumers. Let me also share really quick this. I showed previously the UI that we're building. One of the other pieces that we build can be helpful for other projects as well, similar to Alex showing that MCP. We've built contracts that use Near's account model that allow you to set up basically a safe space that an agent can use to transact on your behalf while having limited access to the tokens on your account. So we have these different contracts set up, and we're building into our UI flow to allow you to create a sub account on your main Near account, deploy this contract to that sub account, and this contract is what the agent will use to request permission to sign transactions on your behalf using Near's multi-party computation network. And so this is the way that, in addition to what Alex mentioned about fine-tuning the LLM to hopefully ensure that it doesn't hallucinate, we can also reduce the blast radius of the potential effects that it can do when it does hallucinate by limiting the tokens on the account that it's using. It's using a sub account that has a certain percentage of the tokens on your account, not everything. So even if it does hallucinate, it can only do so up to the percentage that you've granted to it. This is open source too, so other projects can do something similar.
It's great. This is part of the reason why I love Near is like that access key management thing is really cool. Um, and I do want to move on to Datrix to talk about travel, but I'm going to take a little detour to talk about kind of highlight this on-ramp piece because it's very relevant. Been working with Robert Yan. For those who don't know, he's a Near OG, absolute boss. He is the one that was building this intent integration with X402. But right before that, we've been collaborating with Coinbase briefly, really trying to figure out the best way to frame this. But again, this is still a demo to have an on ramp that is completely chain abstracted, where we leverage Coinbase's on ramp to on ramp USDC to Near through the intent network, but it can be used for any other chain, which is really, really cool. So it's in short, you take fiat from your either Coinbase account or Apple Pay, turn it to base USDC. From base USDC, you actually deposit it into the near intent address. From the near intent address, it can be sent to any other chain address. This technically is available for USDC today, but is also possible for other chains. The coolest part about this, and shout out to Coinbase for making this happen, no KYC up to $500 for Americans, which is a really big deal. So you sort of really get that seamless onboarding experience. And then also 0% fee for USDC on ramps, which is just insane. So like crypto is finally ready to hit the mass market because these barriers are finally done. And Charles, I'd love for you to check out this sort of demo that we put together. It is functional. Things do happen on mainnet. I think that this can really solve a big problem for you.
Awesome. Yeah. Share that link, please. That's very cool.
Will do. And also, since I'm on it, just briefly talk about the X402 now that my audio works. This is also done by Robert Yan. He's currently on the Near AI team, and what it uses X402 for is funding your near intent address with base USDC anytime that you might not have it, which is pretty cool. It's pretty simple. This was built in literally 24 hours, but we do have a lot more to do on X402 and Near integrations that I did flag earlier. The goal is to make this 100% multi-chain. We want to make blockchains totally invisible to people, so people like Charles can go onboard the masses and actually get people to make money programmatically. So this is my very quick update that I thought was relevant to share now. Given that, Charles, I hope you use this. we built it for you. And
Sweet.
so we'll share more of this later.
Thanks, Cam.
But yeah, Charles, anything else before we hop off and talk more about travel agents?
No, benevio.dev/experiment, and look forward to your feedback. Thanks.